Welcome back. Mr. Wahab Shittu joins us next. He's also a legal practitioner to give his perspective on this fight against corruption. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Thank you for inviting me.
Well, the president has been speaking to lawyers saying, look, stop protecting corrupt people, stop shielding them. So there's that impression that lawyers, beyond playing the devil's advocate here, they're also doing a lot of harm. And he thinks something should change. You agree with some of those views?
Well, I would not agree with the views that lawyers generally do harm to the system. But I will agree with the views that some lawyers are not behaving in line with the ethics of the profession.
Now, lawyers,
and it is those lawyers, that the president perhaps have in mind, because we should be very careful in making generalizations, because reputations are involved here. So we should not make sweeping statements that all lawyers are corrupt or all lawyers subvert the system.
What about that impression that the judiciary needs to tag along? They need to also, in a manner of speaking, play their part in this fight against corruption, because if they don't, we might as well just make all the noise we want.
I agree with you that there's a general decay in the society which has permeated all sectors of the society. Lawyers, being members of the society, are not also immune. I agree with you that it's also a question of attitude. Attitude must change. Orientation must change. Lawyers must begin to practice their profession in line with the ethics of the profession.
So what are we not getting right here? Sorry, Mark, but what are we not getting right here? Because one would have thought that whether you're a good guy or a bad guy, you must have some form of representation in the law court. And when you say lawyers should stop, protecting these people, if Mr. A were to be your client, well, he's presumed innocent until proven otherwise. Wouldn't he be getting legal representation?
Yes. Every accused person charged with any offense is entitled to legal representation, if he can afford it. Even if he cannot afford it, the state is obliged to make provision for legal representation for every accused person. But you see, what we are saying here is hierarchy of duties. The lawyer owes a duty to the court, owes a duty to the client, also owes a duty to the society. Now the question is, and also owes a duty to the cause of justice. Now I think what is missing here is which one takes precedence. Lawyers primarily are supposed to be officers in the temple of justice. So their loyalty primarily should be to the temple of justice, to the court, and to the society, above loyalty to their client. Lawyers owe duty to their clients, but not at the expense of the duties they owe to the temple of justice. So it means that in discharging your duties, you should be guided as lawyers by the demands of your profession, the dictates of justice. You should not be seen as a lawyer subverting the cause of justice. That way, you are not an officer in the temple of justice.
Can lawyers do that?
Lawyers can do that.
Can they subvert the course of justice?
Yes, lawyers can subvert the cause of justice. And the problem we have in our society, and perhaps in the fight against corruption, that also must be looked into. In other crimes, when you use the machinery of the law to subvert justice, there are consequences. For instance, you cannot manufacture defense for your client, even when you know the client has confessed to you of being guilty of the crime in private. At best, you allow the state to stand or fall on the strength of the case. In fact, as a lawyer, you can even advise the client who has confessed the commission of a crime to you to plead guilty.
And we'll take a lenient
and then
sentence?
Work out, lenient, sentence for him. You'll be behaving. But somebody has confessed to you that he committed the crime. And you still went all out there defending him. Obviously, your loyalty is to your pocket. You are no longer donating or giving loyalty to the profession, which is your primary duty.
Is that about to change with the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, which was signed in May this year?
That will certainly change. Because the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, which has just been promulgated into law, is about the hottest law. In fact, I will advise channels to begin to serialize that law. Because if you look at that law holistically, it addresses a lot of these challenges. One, it is designed to ensure the efficient management of all our criminal justice institutions. Because we are talking of the Administration of Criminal Justice System. We are talking of a whole lot of stakeholders, including the police, the prisons, lawyers, judges, registrars, victims of crimes, the society generally. So that law is designed to ensure the efficient management of all criminal justice institutions. That's one. It's also designed to ensure speedy disposal of cases.
And applies in all federal courts.
And it's also designed to protect all the rights of parties in criminal proceedings, as well as ensure the rights of victims of crime are also protected. So it applies in all federal courts.
So do we then need corruption committees or whatnot since this act has been promulgated?
Well, you see, corruption, like the president mentioned, is the worst abuse of human rights. What we are personally, preoccupied with is an emergency situation. There is this talk all over the place that the treasury is empty.
Yeah, but in this act, you highlighted one thing: speed.
Speed, yes.
So
the act is designed to address the issue of delays.
It means cases can go on every day.
What of the human element, the attitude? Judges, lawyers will function in this course. And you know that the regular course have been bedeviled with this endemic problem of delays, which is just unacceptable.
It doesn't bring Chamberlain's comment into perspective. He's saying, isn't it there a possibility for us to have some of these cases run day by day?
It is possible, which is part of the revolutionary provisions in the Administration of Criminal Justice Act, that trials in criminal matters will run day by day.
That's why he was also asking whether or not we needed this committee on corruption, this advisory committee on corruption. Are they to look at the act? What exactly do you understand their role to be?
The advisory committee against corruption, I think, is necessary. It's necessary because, first of all, look at the composition of the membership. Some of the best materials in the land. Professor Sage, that I know very well, Professor Bola Jos, Owasonye, and some other people, eminent people in that committee. These people are knowledgeable, not in terms of integrity alone. They have first-rate knowledge.
But it also
what I'm saying that the PAC people will be able to assist the government